And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Satellite imagery here showing very vividly a big storm out here. Low center coming north and northwest of Chimney-Attu. Very strong frontal system here pushing eastward, bringing winds gusting over 60 miles an hour to Adak and Atka today. Winds gusting over 50 miles an hour at St. Paul Island, and winds on the increase here over the eastern Aleutians. Weak trough up through here bringing some light snow to this area. Snow shower conditions, very light, and also up here along the western Arctic coast. And then a big mass of clouds with another big storm here that's well off to the southwest of the Panhandle, but a lot of warmer moisture coming northward here. It's going to collide with the colder air moving in from the north, and we'll see this whole pattern starting to shift up to the northwest there. Otherwise, clear, cold conditions, light winds, variably cloudy skies, and chilly conditions over the central interior areas. And there's a high wind warning out here for Prince of Wales Island and Annette Island, southern Panhandle, for southeast winds 25 to 35 miles an hour with gusts to 60 miles an hour expected. And again, for Prince of Wales Island, Ketchikan, Gateway, Burrow, and Annette Island. And when? Well, it's 6 a.m. Monday until midnight Monday night. And high winds could blow unsecured objects around, again, gusts to about 60 miles an hour. And then there's a blizzard warning out here for the Juneau area. And this is out from 6 a.m. Monday to 6 a.m. Tuesday. And looking for 9 to 14 inches of snow to fall with blizzard conditions and a quarter-mile visibility at times with strong winds gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour, blowing that snow around. And then there's also a blizzard warning out for the Matanuska Valley for tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night, looking for winds to pick up anywhere from 50 to 70 miles an hour in gusts. Palmer looking at gusts 60 miles an hour, all out of the northeast here. 64 miles an hour there at Wasilla, and also up at Sutton. And again, strong northeast winds will increase through the day Monday, reaching 55 to 75 miles or 70 miles an hour in gusts late Monday evening. And so that's going to create localized ground blizzards near open areas with, of course, drifting snow likely and wind chills down to around zero. On the chart today, none of that going on now, just light winds and high pressure and cold temperatures here across southern Alaska. Areas of light snow with this weak trough here, central interior back to the northwest. And moisture already starting to creep into the southern southeast coast there with this warm front, but the main bulk of the moisture still off to the south and southwest. And then this intense low already starting to weaken here, holding back over the western Bering Sea. And it's going to kind of just drift off to the northeast there. So this front, as it tries to pull away, will weaken considerably as it does. In fact, it's already doing so now. But still pretty windy conditions of the central Aleutians, also into the Pribilofs. And for tonight, you can see weakening front here, not as impressive as it was. Still the main low pretty good back to the west there, pretty intense, but staying back in that area there, being held, this whole system being held to the back by this Arctic high over the interior. This weak trough lifts northward, bringing a chance of snow into the Kobuk Valley, Selawik, passing across the Seward Peninsula on up to the Noatak Valley, the northwest coast, western Brooks Range area, drier to the east, stays dry. Another below zero night here, south central Alaska. Matanuska, Susitna Valley, where it was 15 to 25 below this morning, could get that cold again tonight, and definitely 25 to as low as 35 below in the Copper River Basin area. A little milder here with more cloudiness in the northern interior. And then here comes the strong winds and heavy precipitation into the southeast coast, slowly moving northward, mainly with this warm front. And then for tomorrow, that whole frontal boundary lifts to the north, and with this high building over the Yukon, it really puts a squeeze on the atmosphere through here. So you can see a lot of lines on the chart here. Behind the warm front, though, warmer air coming in with the high wind warnings over the southern Panhandle. Precipitation there in the form of rain. And then you get the snow here, central southeast coast northward, with snow and blowing snow occurring again from Juneau on up along the Klondike Highway, Haines and those areas, into Yakutat, Tightening gradient here, North Gulf Coast, Prince William Sound, increasing northeast winds, especially in channeled areas here. And again, Manduska Valley tomorrow afternoon. Interior dry with increasing winds, especially along the Brooks Range there. Wind advisories out for the, I'm sorry, not the Brooks Range, the Alaska Range. Wind advisories out for the Alaska Range Monday night and Tuesday for east winds 25 to 50 miles per hour. This front continuing to weaken as it tries to make slow headway eastward, and just a narrow band of rain and much lighter winds now. In fact, wind's not even a factor there for the eastern Aleutians, but periods of light rain and fog there. Low continuing to weaken, holding back to the northwest there. And then for the day on Tuesday, really washed out front now, brings a chance of moisture into the southwest coast, up in toward the Bering Strait. Another system for more wind and rain into the Aleutians. And this system pulling back to the northwest here will pull a chance or pull moisture with it and could bring a chance of snow into south central Alaska. Mixed precipitation possible along the North Gulf Coast, and stays below freezing over the northern panhandle about Juneau northward. So snow continues there with a mixture of precipitation just south of that area, and then rain on down to the southern southeast coast. Light winds, fair conditions all the way up to the Arctic coast with a fair amount of clearing up in this area. Not too bad over the west central interior as well. Chance of some snow showers getting into Kodiak Island. And for lows tonight, again, below zero, central eastern interior, and above zero to, in some cases, even above freezing. St. Lawrence Island, Pribilofs, and the Aleutians in the 30s. Otherwise, the southeast coast here, anywhere from 15 to 25 for your lows over the northern areas. Mid-30s to the south, highs for tomorrow. Lower and mid-40s, southern southeast coast with a high wind warning. Kind of a mid-30 range there, mid to upper 30s for the central panhandle, say from Wrangell, Petersburg over towards Sitka, Port Alexander. And then in the 20s to the north, highs staying below zero, Copper River Basin, 5 below to 5 above here in the central interior, colder up toward Arctic Village, and in the 20s for the Arctic coast. Milder, 30s here toward the west coast, and 40s out over the Bering Sea. And the Aleutians, lows still below zero, 10 to 25 below in the central interior, but warmer here over south central Alaska. Warmer air coming in, more moisture in the atmosphere, and holding the heat in a little bit here, but still down into the teens, still below zero in the Copper River Basin, 20s, northern panhandle, lower 30s, central areas, and upper 30s, lower 40s to the south. And the highs on Tuesday afternoon, 40s all the way up to about Sitka there, 38 for Wrangell and Petersburg, upper 20s though, north of that area. And highs in the 20s for south central Alaska, about 10 for the Copper River Basin. Most areas now climbing above zero, even in the interior here, all the way up to the Arctic coast. And 30s here along the west coast, 40s again for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians.